You're watching Good Morning Carolinas with Jason Glasspool, Crystal Costa, meteorologist Darren Stack, and Amanda Kinson.
And a very good Monday morning. It is July 8th. Thanks for waking up with us. Hope everyone had a great weekend. This is a pretty cool story. A local author is launching her new book tonight, and it's all about the culinary history of Georgetown County and the Grand Strand.
It's pretty cool. As part of this book launch in Conway, there's 3 local restaurants that are cooking up dishes, and then you can try them out at the event. WPDE News Channel 15's Amanda Kinson is live at Crady's Eclectic Cuisine in downtown Conway with the details. Hey, Amanda.
That's right, and we're cooking up what you will be serving tonight at the big book signing, which is super exciting. This is Becky, and this is your first book.
Yes, it is.
And that's awesome. You do restaurant reviews all around town. Tell me a little bit about the book.
Well, I've always been interested in history and food, and when this publisher said, would you like to write a book on the history of food for the whole area, I was like, yeah, my 2 favorite topics.
Of course, all right.
And so I was delighted to start researching it and found out some surprising things about the history of food in this area.
All right, well, speaking of food, let's start to make. What are we making tonight?
Well, tonight we're going to be serving as samples blueberry cobbler. And what I'm doing here is making the basis for the blueberry cobbler, which is a pie crust dough. So I started out with 2 cups of all-purpose flour. And I have a specific flour that I like to use. I do not use any other flour, so it's that particular type. I've added a teaspoon of salt to this mixture here. Then the next thing I will do is to add 3/4 of a cup of butter recipe shortening. I don't use butter. A lot of people do use butter in their pie crust dough, but I find this is just as effective and very tasty because of the butter flavoring and the shortening, and it gives me a little bit more of a window of time to be able to do the pie crust dough.
Well, I know this is going to be delicious, and delicious is what you seek out along the area, and so it's super exciting for your book, and we're going to talk more about that this morning, and everybody is invited to come tonight, guys.
You know, it's a top secret recipe, and she gave us 99% of the ingredients.
Yeah, exactly.
But she would not tell us what that brand of flour was.
You were listening carefully, weren't you?
I was, because that looked pretty darn good.
Absolutely. Ooh, that cobbler. And again, you can check out these different dishes tonight. You can learn more about the book. It's all happening from 6 to 8 o'clock.
Yeah, at the Haberdashery at Blackwater Market.
Horry and Georgetown counties have rich histories when it comes to food and Southern cuisine.
A new book written by a local artist explores the culinary history of our area. And her book, launched tonight, involves 3 Conway restaurants. WPDE News Channel 15's Amanda Kinson is live in downtown Conway at Crady's Eclectic Cuisine with the details. I love that pie crust, Amanda. It looks fabulous. What's going on now?
Oh, I know. It's going to be delicious. Barbara's whipping it up. You'll be able to taste it tonight, and you'll be able to get Becky's signature on her first book ever, which is awesome. Now, you were saying this is the culinary history. You were saying you found some interesting things. Tell me some of the cool stuff that you found out.
Yeah, well, you know, soul food. We love soul food. And I discovered that some of the foods we traditionally think of as soul food actually started with the Native Americans. Grits. They were grinding grits with stones.
Okay.
Long before any slaves came over from Africa, and also sweet potatoes. Sweet potatoes were here way back with the Native Americans.
That's interesting.
Yeah. In fact, Chief Buster Hatcher of the Waccamaw people wrote the foreword in the book. And he talks about how he learned to make potato banks from his mother, and it's a really sweet foreword. And
well, it's funny looking at, you know, what they had to use back then and then what we have now. I mean, there's bowls and there's cups and there's measuring cups. You know, it's kind of changed a lot.
Yeah, and she uses some measuring cups, but I've seen her too just do it by eye.
Right.
The really good cooks, they just. In the Horry County Museum, they have a long wooden bread bowl, and that's how they used to make biscuits and breads around here. And it was an eyeball thing because they'd put the flour at the end of the bread bowl. They'd have their lard down here, and they would just draw the flour into it until it felt right.
Well, practice makes perfect, and I suppose the more you do something, then the better it tastes and the easier it is. And you're going to be able to try stuff and get your hands on a copy of the book tonight, guys.
I'm salivating. My mouth is watering right now.
Sounds so good. And the book's really cool. I've thumbed through it, looked at the different recipes. You can learn so much about it. It's a cool combination of history and culinary stuff. So tonight's book launch is from 6 to 8.
It is happening at the Haberdashery at Blackwater Market.
You're watching Good Morning Carolinas with Jason Glassful, Crystal Costa, meteorologist Darren Stack, and Amanda Kenseth.
And a very good and happy Monday morning to you. As happy as it can be. Hope everyone had a great weekend. Hey, there's a book launch in Conway. It's happening tonight, and it's all about the culinary history of the Grand Strand in Georgetown County. 3
restaurants in Conway are cooking up some of the dishes in the book, and they're giving you the chance to taste those dishes and learn more about the book. So WPDE News Channel 15's Amanda Kenseth is live at Crady's in downtown Conway with the details. Hey.
That's right, you guys. I am learning so much this morning about food and about history and about new places to go. You just told me about this cool place that I've never even heard of, just north of Georgetown, and it's all right here in the book. And okay, you had to do a lot of research to find out all of this stuff, and I know you went to the Living History Farm. Tell me a little bit about that experience and what you found out for your book.
There's a whole chapter in the voice of Wayne Skipper, who's the farm manager out at the Living History Farm. And he grew up on a farm near Conway, and he recreated life month by month on a farm before there was electricity.
Yeah, so cool. He talks about, you know, how they did the cooking and how they did the farming and all the ingredients.
Yeah, and this time of year he was talking about when no air conditioning, and they would cook for all their big family while they were working out in the tobacco fields and cotton fields and peanut fields and everything, and then they had to preserve their food too. So not only are they cooking for the big family and working in the garden picking the food, they're preserving it too, with standing over big old pots of simmering fruit and corn and pickles and things. And I mean, you try to do it without air conditioning. We're standing here in air-conditioned comfort at 6 a.m.
That would get a little warm. Well, it's all right here in the book. It's really interesting. So if you like history, if you like food, if you like them both, then you're going to love this. And you get to taste food tonight, too. That's what Barbara's whipping up. It's all for the book signing tonight. It's going to be exciting, guys.
I bet that is some of the best cobbler anyone has ever tasted.
Yeah, real southern cobbler. I like that. Good. Tonight's book launch, if you want to go check it out, it's happening from 6 until 8 o'clock.
It's at the Haberdashery at Blackwater Market.
A local author is debuting her new book tonight that features the culinary history of the Grand Strand and Georgetown County.
It's pretty exciting. A few Conway restaurants are participating in that launch, where they're cooking up some great dishes that you can try out. WPDE News Channel 15's Amanda Kenseth is live in Conway at Crady's Eclectic Cuisine. She's getting her book already signed. They are making some awesome cobbler. What's going on now?
Oh, yeah, making the cobbler. You know it's going to be delicious. Blueberry cobbler, you can try that tonight. Here's a blackberry cobbler right here. So here's a little tease of what it's going to look like and taste like. It's going to be delicious. And, you know, we're talking about the history of food along the Grand Strand. Really interesting, and you can find it all in this book. But actually, places, including Crady, still serve some of these old historic dishes.
Yep, and I have a chapter in the book called Heritage Restaurants, where you can go find these old-time foods that are still being made, and some of the best ones put modern twists on them, like Miss Barbara does here. Every time you taste these dishes that she makes the time-honored way with her own modern little twists, it's like tasting history.
Yeah, and that's amazing. It's neat to think about, like, you know, usually we just go to these places and we order something off the menu, but if you have this and you actually know, oh wow, if I go here and get the Southern caramel cake or the double crust fruit pie, that's actually historical, and it's made, you know, the same way that it was way back
the
when.
Same way that the grandparents and the great-grandparents back through the ages have done it. Yeah. And I think a lot of people come to Myrtle Beach looking for seafood buffets and things like that, and they really need to realize we have a food history here that's long and proud and extremely delicious.
Absolutely, and if you miss it, you don't know what you're missing. And you know what? You guys don't know what you're missing, because look what we have here.
And you can get it tonight at Blackwater Market.
That's right, starting up at 6 p.m., guys.
If that wasn't a devilish laugh from Amanda Kenseth, I do